Welcome to this Yin Yoga beginner sequence with an emphasis on the back. We'll start in a tabletop pose, shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. We'll bring the big toes together, bringing the knees out to the width of the mat and gently sitting back on our heels. And just check in your alignment, make sure your spine is nice and long. From time to time, you'll see me adjusting my watch just so that I can watch the time, as we'll be spending 2 minutes in each posture. So we'll inhale for length. And as you exhale, begin to walk your hands out, gently bringing your forehead to the mat. Try and relax your shoulders away from your ears, unclench your jaw, and begin to focus on your breath. We'll start by inhaling deep through the nose and exhaling through the nose. Again, deep inhale, filling the belly full of air, and let it go. There's no right or wrong way. Just breathe in and breathe out. This is the time to clear your mind of any distractions, anything you had go on in the day, to-do list for tomorrow. Clear it from your mind and focus on your breath. And then we'll begin to wake ourselves back up by lifting the head up from the mat, walking hands back in underneath the shoulders, and adjusting back to a tabletop posture, nice flat back. And we will go into our first warm up of the spine with the cat-cow. As you inhale, you'll arch your back, lifting your chin. And as you exhale, curving the spine and tucking the chin to the chest. Again, no right or wrong way to do this. Just try and match the movement with your breath. Your pace may be different than mine, and that is totally okay. And then if you'd like, you can just add any kind of movement that really feels good in your spine. We're just trying to warm it up, get it ready to bend, to get bendy. Come into thread the needle, inhaling that right arm up. And as you exhale, you'll push it underneath to the left side, coming down to that right cheek. You can press into the fingertips, making the stretch a little bit deeper, or you can wrap that arm around. It's really just what feels good in your body. And make sure to continue to breathe. is wrapped around, we'll bring it back to the front, pushing up. Go out of it just the same way we went in, reaching that right arm all the way up. Adjusting back to tabletop, we'll inhale that left arm up, nice and high. And exhale it through, coming down on the left cheek. Same thing with that right hand. You have multiple options. It's just whatever feels good in your body. This is your practice. And we'll come out of the thread the needle, bringing that hand back down, and inhaling that right arm back up, returning to tabletop, adjusting our alignment, inhaling that right leg back, and then from here, we'll bring it over the left side, and then begin to look back at your big toe. So this is a side stretch. You should feel this on the right side of your body. And you should be able to feel it from ankle to shoulder. And we'll bring that leg back, bending the knee. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Inhaling that left leg back, and exhaling it over the right side. Hopefully you don't have anything in the way there. And then gently looking back at that big toe. This side you should feel the stretch on the left side. Again, you should feel it from ankle to shoulder. And we'll bring that left leg back to center, bending the knee. And now we are going to go into our first posture. So this first one is melting heart. Some call it puppy. You're going to walk your hands out. You want to make sure those hips are directly over your knees. They're going to stay that way the entire time. And you'll walk your hands out as far as you can to gently drop the forehead to the mat. We want to try and keep the elbows up above the mat. And come back to that breath. Anytime you need, you have your breath there for you. And we will be here for 2 minutes. The idea is to hold the pose in the same spot for the 2 minutes. But again, only you know your body. And if you need to make minor adjustments, you do what is good for you. Nice deep breaths. come out of this the same way we went in, gently bringing the head up above the shoulders, walking the hands back, and then we'll just flow through a few cat-cows at your own pace, coming back to that breath, countering that back bend that we just did. It's really important to make sure you counter each pose, especially when you sit in it for an extended amount of time. Don't forget to smile. We're doing yoga. All right, and we're going to come into our next back bend, the Sphinx pose. So you want to bring your feet out to the width of the mat, facing down, coming up on your forearms, shoulders over elbows, spreading the fingers nice and wide, gripping the mat. The shoulders nice and long, the neck is nice and long, looking up at the top of the mat. Coming back to that breath. If this is too much, you can always go back and do the melting heart pose again. Or if you're just not feeling it, you're always welcome to sit back in child's pose. Please remember to breathe. All right, we'll come all the way down onto our belly, stacking the hands, using them as a pillow, bending the knees, and just dropping the feet side to side. This should feel good in your lower back, releasing any tension that you built up. All right, and so we will prepare for our next back bend, which is going to be the most intense out of them. You could stay right here in Sphinx again if you'd like. Or, if you're really feeling it, starting in Sphinx position, pushing your hands up, your elbows up. All we're doing is lengthening those arms. Nothing else in our body is changing. So either we'll be in Sphinx or you can push up into Seal. Again, try to be mindful of those shoulders, dropping them away from the ears. Unclench your jaw. Keep that neck nice and long. And don't forget about your breath. Always come back to your breath. You can use it as a form of comfort, especially in an intense background like this. Back bend like this. again if you need to make any minor adjustments to help you sit in it more, I want to say comfortably, but sometimes we got to get uncomfortable to make changes. And don't forget to breathe. We'll come out of this the same way we went in, coming all the way down to the stomach. Again, crossing those hands over if you'd like to make a little pillow for your head. Bending the knees, dropping the legs side to side. This is my favorite counter pose movement. You'll see me come to this often. And from here, we're going to flip over to our back. I'm going to set the timer and we'll get ready for our next back bend, the banana. Wearing yellow is not required, but definitely encouraged. You're going to take a hold of that left wrist with the hands up above the head. And then you'll pull that wrist over, creating a C shape in your side body. And then lifting that left leg, you'll cross the ankle over the right. So you should feel a deep stretch on the left side from fingertips to toes. This is another one you can play with a little, make it a little deeper if you'd like, or a little more passive if you kind of maybe want to take a 2-minute nap. And again, you know what I'm going to say, don't forget to breathe. Coming out of this, we'll lift the left leg back over and gently moving that upper body back to center. And we'll bring those knees in toward the chest, wrapping our hands around and then rolling side to side on that lower back, just giving it a nice little massage. What we do on one side, we must do on the other. This time we'll take a hold of that right wrist with the left hand pull over to the left side. Bringing that right ankle over left. Something I didn't mention before, please try and keep your shoulders nice and grounded to the mat. And if that means you can't bend over to the side as deep as you'd like, that's totally okay. With the more practice, the more deeper you'll be able to take it. Did I just say more deeper? The deeper you'll be able to take it deeper. Keep on breathing. And we will bring that right ankle back over and gently bringing the upper body back to center. Taking a nice long stretch from fingertips to toes, full body, and bringing those knees into the chest. Again, rocking side to side and massaging that lower back. From here, we're going to throw in a hip stretch, bringing the bottoms of the feet together, coming into a reclined butterfly, dropping the knees out. You can bring those arms up above your head, bending at the elbow, palms facing up. We call this cactus arms. You should feel a nice stretch in the shoulders as well. Again, coming back to that breath. And bringing those knees together. We'll walk the feet out, leaving the knees together, countering that pose. Take a couple deep breaths here. as we prepare for our final Shavasana. I guess we're dropping the knees side to side. Whatever your body needs. Sometimes it's not cued, and you just gotta go with it. Bring your knees in, give yourself a big hug. Thank your body, mind, and breath. And then gently allow your body to sink into the earth, dropping the feet out, resting the shoulders away from the ears, closing your eyes, laying palms up. I invite you to spend as much time in Shavasana as you would like. When you're ready, you can invite some movement back into your body, wiggling the fingers and wiggling the toes, stretching those arms up above the head, bringing the knees into the chest, and then just allowing yourself to gently fall to one side. You can use your arm as a pillow if you need. Please take your time coming up. We will meet in a comfortable seat. Thank you for sharing your love, your light, and your energy with me today. Namaste.